What's up, Wretched Nation? Today we're back with my buddies 2013 Harley Davidson Sodtail Blackline. It's a pretty rare bike. I believe it's the last year. This color was only available this year. It's a hard candy custom color, 103. I've ridden this bike a couple times, but we're actually going to ride it on video and do a little review of it. It's a pretty particular bike. It shares the fender with the Slim, but I believe it's the only Softail like it, that and the Slim. So it is kind of picky on seats and stuff. It's a different riding position, but it's a cool little bike. He's got a backrest, T-bars, advanced and high short shots, a couple different things. We've done some stuff today, changing some stuff up. We're going to take it for a ride and do a little review of it and see how we like it.
Alright guys, we're riding this 2013 Blackline, and so this isn't the first time I've ridden it, but a Softail's position is just so crazy compared to a Dyna or Road Glide, you know, the two bikes I'm used to. It is a lot like even older Softails. My father-in-law's got an Evo Springer, and that thing is tiny the way you sit on it. But the best way to like describe the size is like a mesh between a Dyna and a Sportster, especially this one. Especially with the seat, I feel like if you got a regular Softail, you wouldn't be so scooped into it. But the way the seat is, you've got to lay back and get scooped into it. You just have to. But it's got the 103, so it's very comparable to the Dyna. And I love these T-bars. I love this setup. It doesn't promote like slow riding. It's definitely like hammer down and ride the shit out of it. And I kind of like that. But the seat position is just god awful. This is still the stock seat. You don't have much options when it comes to seats, but he's got a couple different ones he's looking at. The biggest problem with seats on this bike is trying to find one somewhere to test ride is nearly impossible, and finding one used is nearly impossible because nobody has these bikes. The ride's good, the power's linear. Yeah, it's internally balanced, so it doesn't shake as much as the Dyna does. It's definitely a good riding bike. Suspension's, you know, pretty firm. But today, took it over to the house. We put new grips on it, new mirrors, because they're just like stock, but the stock mirrors were kind of a little ball socket in the back. It's kind of worn out, and anytime you'd rev it up and get into the RPM range, the mirror would just swivel back and forth. So we're doing a little bit of work on it. Like I said, it's got like 13,000 miles on it, so not a whole lot. Advanced and high and short shots. Good little bike. It's definitely smaller than your Dyna. I feel like it's closer to a Sportster. It sits low and it puts you in the pocket. I would like to ride like just a regular Softail. Like I would love to ride, I don't know what your standard Softail was in this era in 2013, but I'd kind of like to ride that next to this and just to see that seat pocket. Because again, I'm probably going to talk about it all day long. The seat angle is just atrocious. It's horrible. That is with a stock seat. I don't know how it would feel with an aftermarket seat, but the way he's got it set up in the pocket I am in with the T-bars and everything, this is a very aggressive, nice ride. But this bike does sit low as hell, which is kind of cool. It's just a different style. One kind of funny thing though is, I thought it was kind of strange, but the Blackline comes stock with like 2 separate bars. It just has 1 bar up to the left and 1 bar up to the right. So they're, I don't know how you say it, but they're just single pieces of metal. But he's riding my road glide, he loves it. He's always torn back and forth between trading this in or selling it and getting a road glide. But we'll see what he actually does. Funny enough, we're actually out riding around today, and he was riding the Dyna earlier, and he broke it. He broke the exhaust. So we'll get into that later. But maybe tomorrow or something, I'll take it apart and see what the hell we did. I know we snapped them out, but it is what it is. But back to this bike. Yeah, the bars is just 1 piece here, 1 piece here. It's really crazy. You can actually loosen them up and turn them, you know, one at a time. They didn't turn together. It's really crazy. But I guess a super cheap way to make bars. Probably the cheapest handlebars Harley ever made stock. But a set of T-bars does really well with this. It does definitely feel narrow in the front. A lot of people put ape hangers on it, and of course you can do that. You can put some apes on it, make it more like West Coast style, or, you know, definitely with the body lines and how the fender is and everything, you can make the thing like a chopper. Definitely kind of like an old school style. I love the paint. I love the dash. I love how they did the dash and just a single gas tank here. And it's also cool. It's a little bit newer model, so it's got the RPM gauge somewhere. It's somewhere in here. Oh, there it is, gear RPM. I don't know if you can see it, but below the actual speedometer, it has a RPM. That's your gear selector and your RPM. That's kind of cool. That's something my Dyna doesn't have. I think they did it in the later models, but not the one I have. But this is a fun little bike. I definitely like it. Kind of hope he keeps it. It's definitely kind of rare this year, engine combination and color. It's definitely kind of a rare bike, and it looks awesome. So I'm in love with it. Please comment down below, what do you guys think? Do you know anything about the Blackline? You ever ridden one? You ridden a Slim? Do you think Harley killed this bike a little bit too early? I think they only did it for 3 years. What do you think about it? Yay, nay? What do you think about this paint? This paint is awesome. They've got so much clear on here that you can probably like scratch the hell out of it and you wouldn't even notice. When this thing's washed, it looks brand new. The thing's 7 years old with 13,000 miles, and it looks brand new. That's crazy.
Alright, let's put some gas in this thing.
What do you think?
What? This? I mean, you know, I've ridden it before.
Huh?
I said, you know, I've ridden it before. It does everything well except sit.
Except sit?
Yeah.
What you mean? Oh, seating position.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a cool bike. I like it. But it just kills your ass. I mean, damn.
It's hard to sit on the damn thing, ain't
It is. And the crazy thing is, I think this happens with all the Blacklines, but this is your little ignition switch, and they fall off. It was definitely a defect from Harley, and they never fixed it. Maybe that's why they discontinued this bike, but to fix it from Harley, it's $500 because they do a whole new ignition. So a lot of people just do this little rig job. But from what I can tell, pretty much everybody with this bike, it does that. America.
Yeah, if this bike were mine, I'd probably have to put some taller bars on it. I might would go with apes or just some taller T's, because the way I'm a little bit taller than my buddy, and the way I would have to sit on it to get my ass comfortable, I have to slouch down and it pushes you back. And I would need some taller bars, or maybe I need more pullback really. They don't necessarily have to be taller, I need more pullback. But let's hit it on this on-ramp right here and see what it can do. Woo, that thing will move. I think a lot of it's got to do with your ergonomics too. Yeah, this thing will move. Like I said, it's a 103, short shots. It's pretty peppy. I feel like it's definitely faster than my Dyna before I put the chain kit on there. But the bike handles on the highway pretty well. Only thing I'm going to say, like I said, is this seat, God, it hurts my ass. Like I'm sitting right on my tailbone. I have to jack my pants up so I don't sit on my belt because of the arch it has. Yeah, it's just sitting right on my ass bone. So for like long trips, I couldn't do this bike. It would have to be an around town bike for me. But he likes it, and I know he's going to look for a different seat. But I think this bike is cool. It's kind of a rare bike. I call it Sparkle Fish because it looks like a bass boat. Love the paint. Overall, I think it's a really cool bike. I just wish there was more seat options than they are. I feel like that's the only real downfall. That and the stupid ignition system, or the ignition switch that Harley gave it. They destroyed it and pretty much refused to fix it. Because from what I can tell, like almost all Blackline owners, it'd fall off. And they didn't, and it was like the whole key slot would fall off. The way they designed it was just horrible. Because Harley shakes so bad, you got to make sure things are tight and things are going to stay together, and that just did not happen. So overall, I think it's a cool bike, very unique, not your typical Harley that shows up at a bike night, so that's always cool. But definitely comment down below what you think about it. Please like the video and definitely subscribe if you haven't, and check out some of our other videos. Stop by and say hi. But as always, keep it wretched.